This week, on an all-new episode of Crazy Train of Thought, brought to you by the Idiot Savants, join host Ryan Wolf, Pokemaster Troy Osborn, Philbo Swaggins, and Colin Freakin Giffy for rants such as...
Pixelated and flat, but at the same time, it looks good.
If you don't even have anything to say, fuck it. Don't say it. You don't need to.
I don't know. I think they're really trying to tread the line and see who breaks first.
Check a look.
Welcome, everybody, to Crazy Train of Thought, brought to you by the Idiot Savants. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am your host, Ryan Wolf. We are live from Spawn Studios. Joining me today, I have
Pokemaster Troy Osborn.
Troy Osborn is here. Thank you for being here, Troy.
Philbo Swaggins.
Philbo Swaggins joins us again.
He's still sad.
Thank you for being here, Philip. Yeah.
From the Shire.
Bring the energy. We'll bring the energy for you.
Whatever.
Big Phil, no problem. Next.
This week, back on the pod, Colin Freakin Giffy!
Colin Giffy.
Insert clapping noise! Let's go!
Shut the fuck up!
Just do it!
That wasn't what I wanted, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't need hype. I'll just sit here and be quiet.
Okay.
The rest of the episode.
That's fine.
It's normal.
It's okay. You can be like me.
I could name other people that like that.
Boy, we have a ton of stuff to get to today. We are so happy to be back today on the pod.
Back on the pod.
We had the Ubisoft Forward event. We want to talk about some of that a little bit. A few games were talked about. Almost no games announced.
No.
So that was super disappointing. And then Devolver put out their annual Devolver Direct
Whatever the fuck that was.
and blew my mind again.
It was an amazing work of art.
I love it so much. Every year, it's always art. And this
art
year,
is subjective, so I can't even argue that opinion.
sure.
Damn.
Sure. Yep.
Got him,
Art.
Ryan. Good job.
Arte.
Art with a capital A.
I don't know that one.
That was art with a capital T. Art.
Okay. Yeah, and we also got some other news to get to, too. So let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about Ubisoft's thing first. Ubisoft had their Forward event, Ubisoft Forward 2020. They announced some things. What did you guys think overall of Ubisoft's event?
It was long, and I had to skip through it a lot.
Okay,
You know,
fair.
I wish I could yawn right now. Oh, wait. Nope.
No,
Dude,
it's
2
fine.
hours
I don't
in, they're
have
like, hey, we got one more thing for you.
Yeah.
And then it was Far Cry 6. And I was like, wow,
I yawned.
I've only been watching for 10 minutes. All these people had to wait 3 hours for this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
crazy.
I tuned in a little bit while I was on break at work before I watched the whole thing later. And it didn't look like they were going real big on the stuff that they were talking about. And so I kind of was like, well, I'm not super excited for this.
Nope.
Because the thing that I saw was them talking about Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. So what we got was another version of the same trailer that they showed at the last E3 for a mobile game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what in the fuck?
Show some gameplay.
You're right. Do you not have anything to actually talk about?
No.
So I was super disappointed in most of E3 or fucking E3, Ubisoft's entire press conference for the Forward.
But don't worry. Later this year, they're going to have another Ubisoft Forward.
What the fuck? Why have one? If you don't even have anything to say, fuck it. Don't say it. You don't need to.
No.
Christ.
They won't.
But guess what?
It was legit. It was 3 hours long. That YouTube
was.
video is like 2:45. It clocks in at.
I'm glad I didn't click on that one. I would have.
Yeah.
I clicked on Giant Bomb's feed. I was like, that one's the one I
Yeah, for
want.
sure.
I just looked at like specific things because I saw that it was like 3 hours. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, I watched the whole thing, and it's like similar to EA. They brought the developers in to talk about the games, and I like when they do that because I like to see the people that are behind the scenes in the games.
It's people you wouldn't expect either. Like a lot of times, it's like really old people. You're like, you've been around as long.
Yeah. What are you doing?
What are you doing? You know how to work a computer? What?
Are you the?
I can't even freaking get Reaper to work.
You're the age consultant. Like, is this? Should we skew younger? Do you know what this is? You don't?
Skew younger
Okay.
workers. You guys don't know how to do it. You guys suck.
I wrote this code on paper.
So they talked about, legitimately, they talked about 3 mobile games.
Yep.
They announced that Hyperscape is officially in beta after having done an alpha test just a week before.
Which one was Hyperscape?
We're getting Charlie.
Hyperscape is the Battle Royale thing that they briefly touched on in the then they showed gameplay, but people are already playing it. So it's like a fuck ton of gameplay out. You don't need to show more gameplay. We get it.
The ripoff of Ready Player One?
Yes, so it's Ready Player One Battle Royale.
Me and Amy were watching this trailer, and she's like, "That's fucking Ready Player One," and I'm
that's
like,
exactly what it is. That's all it is.
Like not you can't even question.
No, for sure. Yeah,
Ready Player One. It's the Hyperscape. You mean the Oasis?
yeah, the Oasis.
Are there keys? No. There's like, what did they
Well,
get?
it's like it's not even actual game. It's just a battle royale thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not. There's no story content. It's not a story driven thing. They didn't even talk about it being similar to Fortnite, which already barely has a story.
Yeah. All this is a way for them to say, Season 2's coming. Here's a cutscene.
100%. Yep. This is our.
There
this is our story.
I promise this is a story.
Yep.
Fortnite dance.
So, yeah.
Insert Fortnite music.
I was not impressed with Hyperscape. I did fire it up on my PC and I shot some guns. I did not even play a round of it. I just shot some guns. It seems fine. Like there's more guns than a traditional battle royale thing. There was a lot more varied weaponry. It also seems like they're doing a lot different power-ups and stuff like that because in the trailer when they were talking about the game, they were like, "Oh yeah, putting it in VR, quote unquote, our VR universe lets us do things that we wouldn't be able to do in a regular universe." And I'm like, "Okay, sure. Like make a premise for your battle royale game, sure. I guess make it a story reason why you can do this."
So real.
Exactly. Like that even fucking matters.
Yep.
200 people fighting each other, jumping out of a plane on a battlefield. You can't do that unless you're in VR. But it's just our characters in VR then playing. Thus, we can give them superpowers. It's just a video game.
I'm only in for this when it turns out Hyperscape is actually in the Animus, and you can exit the Hyperscape and remove yourself from the Animus and play in real life where you just walk around and talk to people. Once that happens, then I'm in.
Whoa.
And then it just starts the movie to Ready Player One.
But it's like the Assassin's
This summer.
Creed cut. So it's
Ready
got
Player 1, 2.
stuff peppered in from the Assassin's Creed
Actually,
movie.
there is a book sequel coming out for that called Ready Player 2.
Yeah, then that's coming out in November 17th, I think. I mean, I like that book. Like,
Do you play as Luigi?
It's a
Luigi, can we get that character, please? Please, Nintendo, make Luigi.
Waluigi.
You just make a Luigi game.
Okay.
Just
I heard there was
Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah, but
I heard there was purple smoke coming from the Nintendo smokestack at Nintendo headquarters. The new
burning it down because they don't play with me.
The new Waluigi was chosen.
Okay, sure. I don't even know what that means.
Waluigi.
If we're talking about things that are real anymore.
what is life?
I mean,
It's actually-
Ubisoft didn't. Why do we have to?
That's true. Okay.
Red or blue pill?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla got a bunch of gameplay during the press conference, and we also got gameplay following the conference. What'd you guys think?
It looks freaking great.
I liked it. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Looks cool.
I'm excited to plunder.
I'm excited.
I
Even
am
though that's
also
what
excited to
pirates
plunder.
do. But it's just excited to raid.
When Rachel and I were watching,
I'm ready to plunder. I'm ready to plunder.
when Rachel and I
It's
were watching,
plundering time.
I was like, is it maybe it feels like a little disingenuous to even call this Assassin's Creed.
I know.
Like, why not just say we're making a Viking
game.
RPG? Like, why even set it in Assassin's Creed universe? Like,
because first off, people have been asking for this. They've been asking for Japan and Vikings for years.
well, we're already getting Japan because that's Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
So,
Ghost of Tsushima.
did I mess it up? Is that
Ghost
not how
of
you- I don't
Asian
know.
word.
Okay.
It's like Ghost of Tsushima.
Is that what I said? I thought
You
I
said it right.
You said the T hard, so you're like Ghost of Tsushima, which I think it's Tsushima or Tsushima. I don't really.
Whatever.
They say it differently.
Freaking
Gotcha.
Japanese stuff. I
Yes.
don't understand.
I
Where's
don't read
Sam at?
Japanese. I don't speak Japanese.
Where's
but
Sam at?
which
He's
I
not
think
fucking here, so we don't know
that much
Japanese.
is-
You say you don't know.
Oh boy.
That's what Sam does.
No, I mean, he does actually speak Japanese words. Whether or not-
Shinobi.
Whether or not they're strung
Nani?
together that make a sentence, we don't know.
Konnichiwa.
But yeah, you thought it looked good, Colin.
I thought it looked great.
Okay, I'm in.
I like that you can wield 2 shields. So you're like, you can even wield 2 shields. I'm like, wow, your character can pick up another object? Wow. Crazy. So stupid. This guy, he's like literally running at people with shields on both sides, just like plowing through them. Like, what in the heck, dude? It's so
Makes
stupid.
more sense with a Viking.
It's like Captain America doesn't use 2 shields, but imagine if he did. Throwing both of them at the same time. You can dodge one, but you can't dodge the other, huh?
Well, we're waiting for.
This is what you're watching?
Yeah.
This is what's going to hit you.
Captain America 2 shields.
Yeah,
It's not 2 chains, it's
just
2
like
shields.
Assassin's Creed. When Assassin's Creed 2 came out, it was like, oh, 2 knives.
2 knives.
Star Wars, the Force Unleashed 2, 2 sabers. So now just Captain America 2 shields.
What'd you think, Troy?
I want to be a Viking.
Okay.
Yo
think
ho
most of
ho.
Let's
You say yo
sure.
ho ho.
It's fine. I mean, pillaging, plundering,
Yeah.
pirates, Vikings, it's all.
You get a
all the
ride on
same
ships
thing.
just like it's come on.
Vikings were the first pirates.
So
That's true.
When we were watching that stream, at like the end of the gameplay stream and stuff like that, when they did the 30-minute demo or whatever, Rachel, they did the part where you can recruit a cat to be on your Viking ship,
That's great.
and Rachel was like, "Well, I'm in.
I'm in.
That's pretty much it. I'm sold. That's
Here's my money, Ubisoft.
yes, I guess I'm playing Valhalla. You can recruit a cat to be on your Viking ship. That's so dumb. Totally in. But Phil, now we get to you.
I was not impressed.
Okay. What didn't you like about it?
Well, so far from what was shown, I mean, like, I like the idea of Vikings. I think I'd be interested in it for some of the music. Because
Okay.
when you go into like Viking folklore and their music, it is insane.
Right.
Like, I was listening to an actual Viking like folk song. I hope it's in the game because they went into that for the sea shanties and they have that, but in like the Vikings. So
Yeah.
like that would be something that would intrigue me in the music. Like it's just epic music. So that would intrigue me more than it just seemed to me like it played almost the same as like Odyssey and
Yeah, I mean it's
ones
gonna be the
which-
same play style.
yeah. And so I'm like,
It's only been a year.
yeah, the graphics did not impress me at all. It looked kind of muddy.
I think
to
it'll
me.
look better.
I hope. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, they did put a little.
They put a thing that's like not official.
actual.
The problem is
probably
they
wouldn't
put
in all
that on
reality.
every trailer, and then it looks worse. Usually, I mean, how many
Some
times?
I mean,
have
yeah,
they said
you're right.
Alpha
It goes
Golden-
the other
yeah.
direction, but I was hoping that, like, in this case, they meant like it'll look better than this.
Yeah, I feel
And
like it
so
will.
if that's the top of the line, I don't know.
They have a lot of people
Didn't love
working
it.
on it, so that's the hope. But isn't it coming out in a few months?
October
somewhere
26th,
in
I
there.
think they said the date
have-
was.
4 months? 4 months?
Yeah, ish.
4 months.
Yeah,
ish.
somewhere around there, 3-4 months.
Dude, I miss the Black Flag sea shanties though. Oh damn it, Johnny Parker, Romeo.
Late.
Damn it, Johnny Parker.
I don't know what's happening.
Dude,
What
it's just
do you
it's the
do with a
worst.
drunken sailor? What
everyone
do you
knows that
do
one.
with a
Come on.
drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning.
All right.
Lowlands.
So
I'm confused. What are we
We're
doing?
singing sea chanties,
I
bro.
don't like-
Come on, we're on a pirate ship.
not
Ready
on
to
a
train a
black
pirate
flag.
ship.
I thought a sea shanty was
No.
a building.
No, it's a song.
Seriously?
on the sea.
No, it's the songs pirates sing when they're sailing the sea.
Okay, when they're pirating.
Yeah.
So it's not a sea shanty, it's a sea chanty.
No, it's called a shanty.
You got one of them sea shanty.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Troy.
No, I was being serious, but okay.
Wait, what?
Sorry.
I thought you were. I was hearing you. I heard sea shanty, but you were saying sea chanty.
You don't know what a sea shanty
okay.
is?
Shanty. It's actually shanty, not chanty.
I like chanting way better.
I'm pretty chanty.
We are pirates on the sea. We
I don't know.
are
I thought
that
there were
would be a chant.
cool things about Assassin's Creed Valhalla that they showed. I thought throwing the 2 axes was a cool touch.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the executions looked particularly brutal.
Chopping dudes' heads
Fucking
off.
Chopping dudes' heads off all over. And I like how I had to sign in to EA Play 2020 to watch the Squadrons gameplay on YouTube. And the fucking
That's
in Assassin's
weird.
Creed, they're chopping motherfuckers' heads off. There's blood everywhere. Didn't have to sign in for shit. Like, whatever.
Like, for me, like, it was all overall pretty good, but it'd be like, from what I saw, I'd give it like a B.
Okay.
It's not
sure.
bad, but I'm not like, oh my God, Valhalla. Oh, it was
like-
more like, it's okay.
It looked like some of the changes that they made, like, I don't think Origins and what's Odyssey did enough to like really get me interested in what was happening in Assassin's Creed. And it's been a long time since I've gotten into an
fell
Assassin's
off
Creed
of,
game.
I fell off of Origins. Like
Yeah.
I was like in the story, and then I didn't play for like 2 days, and I came back to it, and I was like,
From what I watched, Malcolm,
Yeah,
I
the
watched
same way.
Malcolm play a lot, and it just seemed like a little bit bloated for what the story that I was
That's
trying
what
to
they
listen
do.
to.
It's like, it's an RPG, so we're going to load it.
And they talked about in Valhalla during the forward that this game doesn't have side quests. So everything that you do is going to relate to the main story in some way. Like there's no one-off side quests. You don't need to go a place to get a side quest because what you're doing is you're going from your home in Norway and invading England. So like, why would people just hand you side quests? That doesn't make sense in terms of the story. So they built an organic way for those to happen in the game in a way that relates to the main quest. And that all sounded cool. Like that sounds way better. I fucking hate doing side quests in like, especially Fallout is a good example with Radiant side quests.
Yeah.
They're so fucking stupid. Why am I going here to collect 10 of these to bring it back to here? What a pointless waste of time.
They gotta be
level
done
up.
well. They got to be done well.
Exactly. And if they're done
level
well,
up.
I'm fine with that. There are well done side quests in Fallout, but particularly Radiant side quests or fetch quests or protect the person going to here
Protect
quests.
the president.
I don't like it at all. Yeah, the president of England, I think, will be in Valhalla, right?
It's a game mode called Protect the President.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
that's like a paintball.
No, it's something you do.
I missed
We used
that
to do it in PUBG where one person wouldn't have any guns or anything like that, and they'd be the president.
In
and then
order to make
the other three
PUBG
people
more interesting, is that what you're saying?
yeah, and the other three people
Not
have to
enough of a
play.
game already?
Have to play, I think, with only pistols.
Yeah.
and you have to protect
All
the
right,
president.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
It's pretty fun.
I'm in for that.
It's really hard.
I mean,
Because the president just gets shot in the head. And you're like, oh well,
Right.
I guess we can pick up guns now.
Is that what the Secret Service says to all the...
I think,
Well, I guess we can
Protect
do
the
whatever.
president from all these protesters.
I think side quests were done well in like The Witcher.
Sure. Yeah.
Witcher 3 at least was pretty good because like I did a lot of them and it made more sense in that world because that's his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like one that would be good that you could miss a couple of them, but they were big because there was like maybe 5 or 6 of them was God of War. Mm-hmm. The new one had a few side quests and you don't have to do them, but they were awesome big and they kind of had their own like little intertwining small story to it. So I'm like, well, that's really cool for having a good side quest.
Yeah, I'm not saying side quests can't be done well, and I hope Assassin's Creed, because they've been
bloating.
Yes, because they've been talking about, especially for this game, like, hey, this is a bigger world, but not as much like go here to do this, go here to do this, go here to do this. Like there's I don't want to say less stuff in it, but almost like it's more focused, I guess, on what they're trying to do according to what they're saying. Whether that pans out, who knows? If that pans out, I'm in, and I also got it for free because I built a new PC, so I'll play it either way. I'm down.
on board. No
I'm
matter
on board.
what.
I'm on board my Viking ship with my
It would
cat.
be cool if they
My cat. Named after this.
Yes.
on side missions and then more just worked on making the world a bit more organic.
Yeah, and I
Like,
think
even though you're not actually doing something in it, it itself has stuff going on.
and they showed some of that in the gameplay, the last 30-minute thing that they did, like things happening organically with you just exploring the world. Because you don't even just play with yourself in your Viking ship, you raid with a crew.
You play
like
with
it's
yourself in your Viking ship.
Thank you. Thank you.
You don't just
I mean,
play
there's
with
no
yourself in the
cabin. You
Vikings.
can't play with yourself. No privacy.
There's no privacy.
Assassin's Creed is
Hey, don't look, man.
You just got to stand on the edge of the boat. Everybody keep rowing.
But you
row,
raid with your
stroke,
Row.
row,
Row.
stroke, stroke. All right, guys, slow down. I'm chafing.
Get the animal and do cry well.
poorly worded on my part, I suppose.
Sit on the ship and play with yourself. That's all it's the objective of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Everybody else
They're
go
taking it in a
raid.
new direction. Gonna be just like the movie.
Everybody go raid, and I'm just gonna stay right here.
That fucking movie.
Hey,
All right.
movie was pretty good.
Pretty bad. That movie was dog shit.
I didn't see it.
Don't
Not
watch
even
it.
Michael Fassbender can save that one.
No, which, yeah. No.
Let's see what else. They didn't talk about any trials. I was bummed.
Yeah.
In the pre-show, you did get to see a couple of the guys that make trials shoot t-shirt cannons at one another.
Oh.
That was
Oh,
pretty
that's all
funny.
they're doing now.
wait,
Their budget's going.
Huh?
Are we done with Valhalla?
I mean, if you got more to say, say it. I was going to move on. Go
One
ahead. Sure.
thing that
Yeah.
kind of made me laugh, at least just because when they're exploring, they're like, oh yeah, you can have these little puzzles that just pop up, and like she shoots to lock to break into a house and like gathers all this stuff, and there's just this dude dead on the bed, like. And nothing comes of it. She just grabs all the shit and leaves.
Right.
And I'm like, she's not even gonna say, oh, there's a dead person.
Right.
No, just walks away, and he's just like,
No investigation necessary. That motherfucker's dead.
That's all enough.
that dude's dead. I'm taking his
Yep.
soup that's still hot.
I will take this. Yes.
Oh, that made me laugh. I'm like,
Not going to investigate
like,
that murder.
Not even a nothing. Just give me the shit and bye. So that made me laugh. 'Cause I'm like, this is fucking dead.
Cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded.
Very Viking.
Yes.
Didn't see.
Let's talk about Watch Dogs Legion a little bit.
Which I somehow missed. I don't know.
They talked about this at last E3, and the stuff that they were saying about it sounded cool.
Yeah.
The fact that you can play as any character in the world is cool. So you can recruit NPCs to be part of your
Squad.
resistance.
Yeah.
Squad.
Your squad. Squad. Sure, yes. Be part of your squad.
Oh, you want to squad up? Hell yeah, dude. I'm a hacker. I'm a 60-year-old hacker.
So, yeah, the things that they were showing looked really cool. They showed a construction worker sneaking into a facility of a place that you need to invade or whatever.
Beating somebody down with a wrench.
Yeah, you beat a guy with a wrench. You fucking shoot a nail gun. You're like shooting sideways, fucking nail gun.
In all honesty, if you just have like the professional outfit and maybe like carry a ladder, you can go almost any.
Oh yeah, there's a guy that tested on YouTube. He was like, "Go."
Not even that.
He
Like-
did that.
No, like
You did
when
that?
I'm-
You were the guy that
like when
tested?
I'm in my work outfit and I just like I have the gear. Whenever I go in, nobody questions what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
And like I feel weird because like I've been to these places as not a worker, so I just get to walk around and like mess with stuff because I'm fixing things. But like I go into banks and just go down and like
I need
mess
to be
with
in the
stuff.
vault,
So,
please.
yeah.
Can you open up safety deposit box 341?
Sir, I need to go in there. I need to fix some. Oh, you're good. Let him in.
It just was intriguing that
Click.
like I'll walk into businesses and like go to like do stuff.
Yeah.
Other employees see me and they just like walk past like people are more ignoring than, and I'm like, this is how people rob stuff.
There's this
I've
guy.
seen this in heist movies 100 times.
It works. It actually works.
There's this guy on YouTube who just made a video, and he went to like so many McDonald's, and they said our ice cream machine's broken. He goes, "Oh, I've had enough of this," and he goes and gets like this uniform that says ice cream machine fixer or something like that, ice cream machine fixer man or something like that. And he walks into this McDonald's, just walks right back behind the counter. And she's like, "Are you with this company?" He goes, "Yeah," and she goes, "Okay." I didn't know about the uniform. He goes, "No, we got new uniforms or whatever." And she's like, "Okay, cool." And then he gives one of the employees a hammer and says, "Hey, can you help me out with this?" And they're like, "Yeah." He goes, "I just need you to hit this spot a couple times." So like they're just hitting bare metal. Like there's no nail, nothing. They're just hitting bare metal. And he's like back there just moving wires, not unplugging anything, not doing anything. And he goes, "All right, it should work now." And they're like, "Thank you." And he walks out. It's so great.
That's amazing.
I saw a video where there was a dude who just like walked to the back, made a sandwich, and walked out.
That's all right.
I could see that happen at the
Sometimes
McDonald's
you
I
have
worked
the
at.
attitude, you just go and
Mind if I hop back there? I used to work here.
So Watch Dogs Legion, 100% accurate, I guess is what we're trying to say. They
Kind of
did,
like Hitman.
yeah. So
I'm a
this game's
construction
super,
worker. Don't worry about me.
super inspired by Hitman, except that you don't just play as the Hitman, you play as
Everybody.
everybody in the world. And I thought that's a cool premise. Like,
I mean, I guess they got to go somewhere with it to give you something to do because I think the first two haven't really done well.
I would kind of agree with that. I mean, similar to Assassin's Creed, the first
I
two
like
Watch
the-
Dogs games haven't interested me at all. Like, one looked boring, and I got it for free and didn't fucking play it.
I beat one and I enjoyed it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to be. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's okay.
It was fun. I mean, it was short. It was sweet. It was to the point. You got to do a couple of cool things.
For a next gen, basically launch title, open world game, like we didn't really get any of those.
And
so
it was
that's
in
cool.
like real Chicago, which was kind of cool to me.
Yeah.
Because that's close by. I was like, I know these
I've been
places.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's McCormick Place.
Yeah.
Comic-Con there. So yeah, the stuff that they're saying with Watch Dogs looks cool. Now, I wanted to touch on a little bit the specifics about what they were saying, because they said in the voiceover that it says not every person in the world is a like super spy or a trained assassin or whatever, because they did show like a hacker and an assassin that you could get to be on your team. So what I think I texted Colin this.
Yeah, you did.
I was like, so are there like tiers? Do you get like level 2 construction worker, or can you get like, is there only 6 assassins on the map that you can find and recruit that you need to find in specific places?
You get
or
salaries.
how does that work?
I bet you just kind of like, I feel like you play as
I'm-
that person, but you don't really do anything. Like you just pop up as that person.
Well, I
You
mean,
play
like
as
if
them
you
for
were a
little bit, but-
construction worker, for instance, and let's say like the other person's the assassin,
Yeah.
you would assist them in what they're trying to do. So it's
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
I know he's my assassin. There's his target. What can I fuck with actually? Like, let me push this block.
okay.
And then that person trips.
Don't necessarily think that that's how they were portraying it. So they talked about you playing as the assassin and you playing as the construction worker, and each of those characters would have individual talents based on their
The
profession.
story, the cutscenes changed like when you were a different person. Like it showed as you were an assassin, and it was like, you know, they said one certain thing, and then you were the old lady, and you said something completely different, and they
like the
bantered
setup
back with something.
to an event was different depending on who you played as.
I see.
So I think it's just you play as that person. If you suck at being an assassin, you suck at being an assassin.
That's on you, motherfucker.
Why would you be an old lady right now?
Right,
Come on.
Right. That you made a choice and you chose wrong.
That doesn't sound fun.
I think it's
Yeah, because it lets you approach the battle or the event in whatever way you want.
Yeah.
Like they showed you sneaking into like I was saying, like sneaking into
The base.
the base that you needed to invade, and they showed you being a construction worker. You walk in, here's the powers that he has if you want to play as a construction worker. Here's the guard converted to your resistance, and you can just walk into the base, but don't do anything shady because you'll get shot in the head.
Yeah.
They showed the hacker who hacks drones, and you can drone in if you want to and invade that way.
Is there team play?
Define team play. Like
doubt it.
multiplayer?
Yeah.
No.
No. Single player game.
What do you mean? What's the point?
What's the point?
To play the game, I think.
Like, I get
and
that,
to
but like
know the story.
I think the idea that I said would sound like more fun. Like, let's say, there's like you do missions.
Oh no,
It's like,
no! I'm not saying that didn't sound cool. Absolutely, like
I'm just
if Watch Dogs
you could be
Legion.
a spy, or you get to be the old lady. How am I going to break into the base? Bring him some cookies. Exhilarating.
That's actually a pretty good idea. The cookies thing. I love cookies.
I would
but
let
are you going to
anybody
do that
in my
for
house
30 hours?
I mean,
No.
if given enough varied characters, I think the premise works. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna get boring.
I think the
Could be
thing
right.
is
different characters.
like no, I think what it is like as you progress through the story, you're just swapping people out as you go,
Right.
And it keeps it fresh the whole way. As in,
yeah.
like when you were Aiden in number 1, you were like, I don't like this guy. Like I didn't like Aiden.
Yeah.
You didn't like me? Come on. I'm likable. That's him.
Oh, okay. All right.
He just stands there and is like, I'm mad about family or something. I'm gonna go hack things. That's my personality. I'm a gruff guy.
I like
Isn't that
hacking
pretty
traffic
close?
lights because
Was that pretty close?
I don't remember.
I know.
I don't remember. Zero personality in that motherfucker.
I think that's like a cool idea, but it could become kind of contrived. What if you find a character that you like and you're good at, and like, man, I want to play more. Sorry, you got to bake cookies now. For
No, I
3
don't think they're
hours.
gonna force you to play as anybody.
don't have to
You
play
get
as
to
any-
choose who you go on the raid as. So if you don't want to be the grandmother that bakes cookies, fuck it. Don't be the grandmother that bakes cookies.
You choose your way
Hey,
to
Ryan
play.
Wolf.
Don't do that. You'll get nowhere.
Welcome, everybody,
Just
to
like
the
me.
crazy train of thought, and we're playing the game. We're like, what the fuck? We're in the game.
We're in the game. That'd be all right.
Easter egg.
Yeah. Easter egg.
Ubisoft, you watching? Right now.
They're not. Continue on with Watch Dogs Legion. They showed a short film
Yeah.
to introduce this game, which we had already seen the game. We fucking knew what it was. Like, I don't see why we needed this really
kinda cool.
contrived short film. And I thought it was cool. It was well shot. Like, they hired a French director to
yeah.
do it, and I thought it was really cool. And one thing that some people seemed upset about, and there was a whole Kotaku article written about this. So at the beginning of, or I guess during that short film, because it's not very long, it's like 2.5, 3 minutes, something like that. What you see is a person in the Watch Dogs Legion universe running from the cops, basically. And she is like avoiding, like jumping over train tracks and all this like parkour and shit and jumping on top of vehicles and all this other stuff. And I don't remember if it's during that segment, but at some point there is a voiceover in that whole thing that does the quote that is evidently from a guy, a pastor in World War II, that says, they came for the journalists and I wasn't a journalist, so I didn't say anything. They came
Holocaust.
for, yeah, and it's basically for the Holocaust. So Ubisoft adapted, or rather the director, this is my point, the director adapted this quote to use in this short film for Watch Dogs Legion. And
But it's not in the game, I'm sure. It's just
yeah,
he's
so
the director and he's like, would be a cool idea.
Yeah, so the Kotaku article is all about how shitty that is to use that quote because it's a Holocaust quote for marketing material. But like that isn't marketing material. Like it's a short film. Like it is an artistic version of, like, sure, it takes place in the Watch Dogs universe, but it's not in the game. Like it's not even marketing materials for the game.
Mm-hmm.
It is,
I mean,
a short film set in that universe. So I kind of don't agree with that at all. Like, I like the quote. I thought it fit what they were talking about. I was not offended by it at all. Like, I don't know.
I still see it kind of as marketing. I mean, it's for the game, and you can watch and be like, "Hey, this is for the game." It was made for the game, and it's still like I can see both sides, but it still kind of feels like it's more marketing, and that is maybe not the best thing to use. Because even though it is a short film and won't be in the game, they made the short film for the game to show, hey, this is, marketing for the game. You watch the short film. What is this for? The game. That's marketing.
I don't know. I don't think they sold it that way because you didn't see at the end of that short film, it wasn't like Watch Dogs Legion out on October 26th. It was like fade to black, directed by X person. So I would think a marketing
talked.
Yeah, and then the director talked. So I would think like a marketing material would have to be some form of marketing. Like you would have to have an advertisement in there somewhere, or
have a logo,
like a logo, or whatever.
Say Watch Dogs anywhere during the trailer.
Not that I can remember. Like
it's not a trailer.
Yeah, it's not a trailer. It's a short film.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's set in that universe, and like I said, to me, it did not seem like marketing material at all. I thought it was actually pretty well done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just wanted to kind of say my piece about that. I don't know. I didn't agree with that article. And a lot of the comments too were like, yeah, I thought it was fucking stupid. Yeah, stupid. Fuck Ubisoft. Fuck those guys. Like, oh, sure. I mean, yeah, but just in general, like fuck Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And fuck EA, fuck Activision. But like, also, somebody worked really hard on that.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked it. I thought it was okay.
The director, he was just basically making a short film.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said, hey, we will pay you if you make your short film, adapt it to our story, basically.
Yeah. And I thought it fit. Like,
oui.
Excellent. And I thought it fit. I was not offended by the Watch Dogs Legion short film.
Well, some people were.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was
that one guy on Kotaku, he was upset. So, what the fuck?
Take off a Band-Aid, rip it off.
Why would you peel off the Band-Aid during the pod, Troy? Like,
Oh, that was perfect, and please keep that in. So everybody's like, what the fuck?
Just rip it off the
His
Ubisoft
daughter,
Band-Aid.
his daughter put Band-Aids on him. He's not actually like cut or hurt at all. So he's not like he's gonna start bleeding.
you're about to be.
Yeah, you're about to be doing it again.
Just ripping off that Ubisoft Band-Aid.
Yeah. Let's move on to Far Cry 6, which we have made it to a 6th Far Cry game.
Cool.
Somehow.
I haven't played 5.
7 if you count Blood Dragon, which was kind of a spin-off.
And that would also make it 8 because there was
New Dawn.
5.
New Dawn.
Yeah.
You're right.
Whatever that was.
Okay,
Primal?
Far Cry 8
Primal?
and Primal. Fuck! Far Cry 9!
That's too
That's a
many.
lot.
We don't usually get to the point in a video game franchise where we need a number past 5.
Yeah, it's true.
Usually they spin it off into something else before that. You don't see Assassin's Creed 12 Valhalla, or they just drop the number entirely and then
Just keep going. And,
Subtitles.
like Far Cry 6 is Far Cry Cuba, which is probably what it should have been. So Phil, you've played a lot of Far Cry.
Yeah.
You liked what you saw from Far Cry 6. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think it kind of the focus on making really intriguing villains seems to stem from 3.
Gustavo Fring.
For sure.
Yeah. What?
Gustavo Fring from Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah. I said 3, and I'm like, wait, that's not from 3. But yes,
but yeah,
I
for
also
anyone.
am very excited. He popped up, and Amy's like, he's everywhere now.
Yeah, but he has like the same character as he is in
He's
Breaking
good at
Bad.
playing it.
He is.
He's good at playing it. I mean, play to your strengths. Same in Mandalorian. But
Oh yeah, it's true.
the funny thing is, you saying that it shouldn't even be Far Cry 6 makes more sense because, like, Far Cry is very drastically different from the start. Like Far Cry 1 is so
it's a
different from 2.
sci-fi
Yeah.
shooter. It's a sci-fi tale where you turn into a monster.
Yeah.
And you fucking rip people apart with your hands. It's amazing and I love it, but and that's not what
And then 2 is just in Africa, and it kind of was almost too...
it's too real.
Yeah, it's
for a
too
lot
real,
of people.
Too real. But I had fun with it, and like the malaria thing was cool.
2 was the one where it had the map editor, right? I had the
Yeah.
I mean, they've all had various versions of the map
but
editor.
I think
1
that
and
was,
2 and
that
3
was the
all
one where I
had.
was like,
Yeah.
I like this. And we didn't play the game. We just made maps.
Making maps in the original Far Cry was so much fun.
I did like fire in Far Cry 2. That one was the best, where like you could make a little fire and it would just go everywhere. And then I'd be like looking down, I'm like, oh, I killed those guys.
All right, cool.
So then you go to 3, and that kind of did the jump off with Voss because of the
Voss
actor.
is so good.
Oh
He's
my
amazing.
gosh.
He's also
And
in Orphan Black, and he is amazing in Orphan Black.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, and I love that they made his character because of him.
Yeah.
And he should have been bigger because the villain after him was
It's a
pathetic.
bummer. Yeah.
And then you have 4, which you have Pagan Min, and they're like, okay, people loved Voss, so we need to make that the main villain.
Yeah.
And so you have Pagan, who is this crazy, wonderful psychopath. And then you get to 5, where it's just this crazy religious cult, but they're like, the villains are so over the top, but like in a fun way to where you kind of understand them.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
I thought 5, the villains were done better in 5 than in 4.
Yeah, I would
Or
agree.
I was
Personally, I didn't like Pagan Min at all. I didn't think that was interesting.
There's a lot of things about that game that I'm like,
Right, hot and cold kind of deal.
Yeah.
I think that's just
And-
Far Cry in general now.
Sure.
Where
Like-
I guess some people might not have liked it as much. I love 5.
Yeah.
I have so much fun with 5, and like obviously there were the Christians that were offended, but I'm like, it's just a crazy cult. I love
Right,
it. It's
right.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Kill these fuckers.
It's a great
And,
sandbox for sure.
And like the bosses were great, and they did a good job at making you kind of hate the villains, and then you get to kill them.
Yeah.
And then obviously like what happens in the end of the game happens, and I like the ending. People are like, what the fuck is this ending? I'm like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a way to go where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
That just happened.
that just happened. Shit.
And the only thing that I didn't love about 5, and I hope they don't put in 6, is removing the player agency like 30 fucking
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Like you have to get caught by the bad guys, and there's no way to avoid it.
Yeah.
And it's a timed thing, and like that's fine, like maybe twice.
Yeah.
But
You
to
do
do
get
it
caught a
multiple
lot,
times for each person that you have to go kill because there's 3 villains, like that's not for me.
I still,
Kind of like the Borderlands 3 thing.
yeah, no agency.
It's like, I could stop them, but you locked me in this box.
Like I
Right, exactly.
I have killed
Exactly.
more people for less things, but I just get to stand here as you act like I don't exist.
I've had fun with Far Cry a lot, and I'm pretty much starting from the first one. I've been kind of in, and then 3 is one of the few games, I think I've said it on the pod before, that I have all the achievements in. Like I wanted to play that game to its absolute completion. It's so fucking good.
I didn't like what happened with Voss in the end because I'm like,
Yeah.
but I did have a crazy amount of fun. I wish they hadn't changed the main character's voice.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I was like, man, this,
I think there are some things that they need to do in 6 because we didn't see any gameplay. It's just specifically a trailer. It's launching. I think it said 2021, so we're months and months
Which is
away. We're not that
let it get
far,
some
but
time.
yeah,
Let it get some
exactly.
time.
Let them keep working on it. I'm okay with that.
I don't need gameplay for something that's that far off.
Yeah, for
Yeah, for
sure.
real.
And it was
here's
a well
your
put
alpha
together,
gameplay that won't change.
Yeah, yeah.
a well put together thing, that tells what the story's going to be, but that's it.
I suspect we'll see more at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
In December when we start getting closer to February, we'll probably see a little bit more about Far Cry 6. But I think there are things that need to change about that game that haven't. Like I love when the game gets crazy. Like in 5, when you get the alien weapon, because you find a landed UFO, basically.
Yeah.
Like that's so fucking stupid. And it's game breaking in a lot of ways because it's so OP. And I'm in. Like you just fucking disintegrate
When they let
people.
you have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the weapon selection, the main weapon selection in 5 is probably worse than 4. Like I didn't like using a lot of those weapons. The LMG is the same as the LMG from 4.
I like the weapons. I guess I had more I have a lot more fun with the archery.
Sure.
So I wreck with a bow, and that one has a good bow.
Yeah. I think I probably like the bow in 4 a little bit better and the way that felt to shoot. And in
The bow in
5,
4 is awesome.
in 5, like it's diminishing returns at a lot of points. Like I was so into 3 and then I played a lot of 4 and didn't love it, played more of 5 and had a better time. but I think that they need to make some substantial changes to what that game is to get me in.
I just realized something. Why it feels in 5 that your agency is taken away from you more than it does in the other games. Because they play and kind of go out the same way with being captured and random things happening. You're a voiceless character. So
sure.
it's meant to be you
Right.
as that character, which I didn't like as much because there's so many moments when they're like, good job, guy.
And you don't say anything.
And you don't say anything.
Right.
Like all these cutscenes they talked.
And in
the other
3
games,
and 4, you both, your
play a
player,
guy.
your character is a character. You're playing as somebody versus playing as you.
which it seems like they might be doing in 6, which I hope, because I liked, because obviously you're playing a character. It's not an RPG.
Yeah.
If you can't design it like an RPG with the choice and stuff, just make us play a character.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay not having a choice. Like, I don't need every single game that I play to be a game full of choices with impact. Like, tell me a story. I'm fine with that.
But they just, if they make it to where it's you as the character, you need to have that choice because it just feels weird.
I mean,
Like,
I also think that you just get, like, there are more times in 5 where your agency is taken away as compared to 4 and 3 to an extent. I think it happens one time in 3, and it's very much like, oh, fuck, a story thing is happening. What the hell? So, yeah.
There might have been a few more, but
Sam just
not as much.
messaged in.
Oh, is Sam not coming to the pod today?
He said, "Oh no, my bad." He's got the Fozzie Bear face palm as the gift.
The boy has forgotten.
He says, yeah, like I got bzz, bzz, oh no, and then I got the gif, and then I got the my bad. I drove home today. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Fucker.
Damn.
What about you guys? We've talked a lot about Far Cry. What do you think, Colin?
I didn't play a whole lot of the other games. I think I played them a little bit. I do want to go back and play them, but I definitely thought the reveal was cool. Like, I love the acting and how real the freaking game looks. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I can think of another game that's that graphically inclined the same way that it is. It's like I guess it's just from, I know that an actor and what he looks like. So seeing that
the
come to life.
facial movements. I was like, holy fuck.
The kid is a little off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a completely made up character. It's like
Right.
the same thing with Voss. Even in 3,
Yeah.
they had cinematic trailers and it looked just as good.
Yeah.
So I
See what
think
the
it will
gameplay looks
look
like.
really good.
Yeah, I think it'll look good too. But yeah, I was blown away by just that character in general. 'Cause he just seems like just like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. Like if you watch Breaking Bad, it's the same character.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, he's just alive again. It's cool. It's great.
It's going to be great.
running
to play
Cuba.
against him.
He's running Cuba. Yeah, it's exactly what it's like.
That'd be a fun.
Is he supposed to be Castro? What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
He's not Castro.
He's totally Castro.
Is he not? He's totally Fidel Castro. Are you guys joking?
What?
The guy that plays the bad guy, he's playing Fidel Castro.
Oh, wait, seriously?
I mean, it's not Fidel Castro. It's some other motherfucker.
He
But
doesn't
it's
have a
based
beard.
Oh, based off of Fidel Castro?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
100%.
It's like a modern Fidel Castro.
So I don't know. They did not give any like details
Kinda like-
in terms of when this would take place.
Yeah.
Because I would kind of like, if you got 1960s Cuba as the setting for this game,
Yeah, that's
I'm
kinda
in.
what it looks
like. You
like.
don't need to do
There's
now.
like a
Cuba.
car. Look at the cars.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It
the
looks
cars are like that now.
and that's true.
Yeah.
They are.
It's what you call it? So it's
They're trapped in time.
why can't I think of what it's
Yeah.
called?
Retrofuturism.
Something punk. What is that? What do you think what it's called?
Cyberpunk.
It's not like
Steampunk?
steampunk.
Oh,
Steampunk.
okay, all right.
Steampunk Cuba.
Yeah,
I know.
if
It's
they
a
were-
joke. Calm down.
It's a joke.
That'd be great. Far Cry 6, Steampunk Cuba.
Steampunk Cuba.
That actually
throw
be
out a
for that.
gas
place in the
Absolutely.
1940s.
Airships flying over.
Bioshock. Give me back my
Eyeglasses
daughter.
on. I'm on board with that.
I'm on board with that.
Sign me up.
I want to play 5.
Have you not played 5?
I haven't
Played a little bit of fun.
It's good. I like 5.
I own
4,
it,
and 4.
but I haven't played it.
Yeah.
Like I got it for
5 is worth playing for sure.
I don't know why I had more fun, like a lot of fun in 5. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
because
5
just
got
really
a
liked the
ton of
villains.
shit for having, like, not being a good game. And it was almost universally critically slammed because it was not as good as 4. Like, you are all out of your fucking minds. Like, this is way better than 4.
Yeah. And with the whole Fidel thing, I mean, what's the guy's name in 4? The bad guy?
Pagan Min?
Pagan Min is like the Korea guy. I can't think of his name now.
Yeah, except he's white.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
That's either one of them.
That shit. All right.
Like, I mean, that's what he is.
Yeah. And like I'm in for Far Cry 6. Like I said, I just hope they.
I mean,
they do
I
make
guess
some
he's
changes.
extra flamboyant, but
Yeah, he is. He is definitely more flamboyant.
Even in 5, didn't they do a thing where like they made fun of the climbing towers thing?
Yes,
Because you
yes.
climb one of them and he's like, I'm not going to fucking make you do that the whole game.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I like this game.
yeah. It's a little bit self-referential for sure. Like, hey, we know that you like this was cool the first time we did it, but is not necessarily cool 30 more times. So
I mean, yeah, I would be more looking forward to you being an actual character, which it's seeming to point that you're going to be the boy.
I was gonna just ask that. Like,
So,
do you play as a
don't
12-year-old
know.
kid? Because that could
doubt
be a
you-
fucked up
I
thing.
doubt you would play as a kid. Most likely they'll have
You
some
dropped a grenade?
backstory, and he'll go through some shit like blow up the grenade, and then eventually he realizes that his dad, or if that is his dad, is like Sky.
Assuming it
fucked
is his
up.
dad.
I mean, I'm
I think
assuming, but
he said son.
I know, but that doesn't necessarily. He could be a
Oh, he said
dad.
Papa.
We don't know.
okay.
We
He said
don't
Papa.
know.
Yeah, Papa.
But
yeah, like
sometimes
Stranger
you can
Things.
say he could even be his grandfather. Like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Don't know.
Put on the subtitles. I guarantee it'll say father.
Speaking English.
Papa is not. Okay.
I mean, no. I've heard in
No, I call my grandpa Papa, but it's not like it's
You
different.
don't. And what do you call your dad?
Dad.
Oh yeah.
I have
Papa?
heard people call grandpa like grandpa's papa.
That's what I
more
call. That's what I call my
than
grandpa. Yeah.
a dad. You know, so, but I
Love it when
don't
you call me
know.
Big Pop.
Call
He
him-
could also
call him
just
pops.
have pulled the kid off the streets.
And
So
yes, absolutely, that is a for sure.
You come with me.
And yeah, I'm interested in
Yeah.
Far Cry 6. Let's take a break here. This went a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. So, yeah, stick with us here. We are going to take a break, and we will be right back with some more shit.
check a look.
I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
We are the Super Media Bros podcast.
Each week, we give a comedically informative take on movies,
Music,
television,
video games.
and much more.
Put your shades on and listen to all episodes on supermediabrospodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah,
Shades on.
we're off.
Welcome back from break, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Hope you liked the Ubisoft chat that we had at the beginning of this episode. And we are going to get to somebody near and dear to my heart, certainly.
My new TV?
What?
Oh.
No. God damn it, Troy. I'm taking that off the show notes.
You already did. You didn't even put it on the show notes.
No, fuck that. We're going to talk about Devolver Digital's Direct. Devolver Digital Direct.
I think
Devolver Direct.
that what and your surprise was like the most legitimate reaction I've seen you have. What?
What? Okay. So if you guys don't know, at the beginning of every podcast, we start this podcast off with Check a Look.
Nina motherfucking Struthers.
Nina motherfucking Struthers is the person providing that voice in our ears every episode. When we first started this podcast, Devolver was actually one of our inspirations, I guess you could say. So they've been putting on a press conference since 2017, and we have been doing a podcast since 2017. And I want to take a second to play some of that for you today. This is myself and former member of Crazy Train of Thought, Cody, and we don't have video for this segment. Yeah, this is Cody and I talking about Devolver Digital, and I'll play it in real time, and I want feedback from you guys on this section.
This episode is now deleted, by the way.
Yeah, this is a deleted episode.
And you're about to hear why.
Yeah, you're about to hear why. So I'm going to hit play here.
Oh, there it is. Devolver Digital Screen Pay.
Now, that was super intriguing.
Oh, yeah. They really took, DLC on the marketplace to a whole new level.
Right.
For customer convenience, not for the developer convenience, which I thought was amazing.
So for those of you that didn't watch it, basically, Devolver Digital has come up with a way for you to insert cash into your screen that you're playing on.
That's right, stoners that watch Willy Wonka. It's the exact same thing.
It seemed like maybe it only works with CRT TVs?
That's what it seems like. It was quite an old TV.
Right.
But in the same way, Nintendo only works on CRT TVs and tube TVs. Maybe they're still working on an HDMI adapter.
That could be.
For a flat screen TV.
Let's hope, because I do have a CRT TV, but I'm not playing Call of Duty on it.
I'm kind of bummed out I might be left out. Yeah, I can't switch over just to reload.
Right.
Throw $10 in for a new clip in my RPG or something like that.
This is the kind of thing. So basically, you take cash, insert it into your screen, and that cash goes straight to the developer, and obviously no longer yours.
Nope.
And this is the kind of thing that I hope catches on.
Dollars, as they say.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing that I hope catches on. With other developers, if they license a tech from Devolver or whatever they got to do.
It would be worth it.
That was so cool.
I will say there appeared to be a limit to how much you can put down right now.
That's true.
He seemed to put about $20-$40 in, was fine. He got a little crazy with the spending, though, and the TV appeared to literally eat his arm.
Well, yeah, it seemed like maybe there was a glitch in the process that takes the money.
Maybe.
And that it took his hand.
But Devolver Digital is fine. I saw Margaret held a consent form that he had signed there.
He had signed it already, so they're off the hook.
Yeah, they're good.
I'm sure that guy can get prosthetic.
So there will be no delays in this technology coming to us. Yeah, that's what matters.
So Cody and I decided we would play it like Devolver did a straight press conference, a real press conference.
I hadn't watched this, and I believed it. I was like, I need to know why this is not something I've watched before.
We couldn't get the echo out. I'm so sorry.
It's like he's on a stage and you're just talking to him.
Oh, you're asking him questions.
Yeah.
Like you're the fan and he's the guy at Comic-Con.
Cody, one question, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Cody, one question.
So that was episode 3 of Crazy Train of Thought before it was actually named.
Yeah,
Crazy
they were
Train of
going
Thought.
with this guy.
This guy and that guy was the name of the pod. And the
I'm very
audio.
glad you changed it.
Thank you. Yep.
There would have been no room for that guy and that guy over there.
That guy.
This guy.
I'm Ryan Wolf. And there's that guy.
So this had to change and expand. And but I just wanted to thank Devolver Digital for giving us another press conference to talk about.
Holy shit.
From our humble beginnings and their humble beginnings, we are moving on to bigger and better things.
They got the head of both PlayStation
Shuei Yoshida
and Xbox
and Phil Spencer to be on.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And Jeff Keighley as well tuned in. So what we got this year, instead of an actual, obviously, stand-up press conference, we got them putting out this digital thing. And I think it's probably the best one that they've done.
Yep.
They keep one-upping themselves every year. And here we are in year 4, and they have still managed to do it again. There were several times that I thought were fucking hilarious. Phil, off camera, you mentioned the Konami joke.
That was amazing. That was the one part that got me to actually laugh and pause it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, damn, that is
cold.
What was it, Troy?
It was, we watched Konami announce 4 Metal Gear games and then instantly get a breaking news announcement that we're canceling 3 of them.
In the same live stream.
That would
I think my favorite thing about Devolver Digital is the awareness that they have for video gaming as a medium.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that I love their games. Like, I'm mostly not a huge fan of the games that they make. And I don't necessarily see that as a problem. Like, I'm glad that they are making the games that they are making. I don't love playing them, but I love them as a video game publisher because they get it. Like
they get it.
They know what's going on.
for sure. And I love seeing what they come up with every year and the jokes that they put into their press conferences.
My uncle from Nintendo.
My uncle from Nintendo. They fucking made that a character in their press conference. Like, how stupid. And then Colin texted me and he was like, there are swear words in this press conference. I was like, yeah, that's kind of the
I
point.
was so offended. I was just surprised.
Yeah, like
I was like, wow, I didn't expect that at all.
Every year.
Every year. So those of you that have not tuned into a Devolver Direct, I highly
You
recommend
can watch
it.
all of them on YouTube.
Fucking watch all of them. They're so good. Like, I love the through line. I love the story that they put in there. Nina Struthers just knocks it out of the fucking park every year. Yeah. And like the stuff that they were saying at the beginning of the conference. So when it starts, you see the two uppers of Devolver now, since Nina is out of the picture, as it were.
Yep.
Some story beat happened to her, and I'm not going to go into it. I don't want any spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers for the press conference. It's so stupid of a thing to even have to say. And they talked about there being an oversaturation of this since E3 collapsed. They talked about there being a power vacuum that has filled its place. And there's an oversaturation of just constant bullshit happening 100% of the fucking time. IGN's doing fucking 3 weeks worth of live streams. GameSpot's the same way. They're doing 19 different, like all these people talking about games and just all this shit happening all the time. Jeff Keighley's got the Summer of Gaming thing going on, which is another thing. And like,
where's Bethesda in all this?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been on anybody's stages. They said that they had some announcements to make, but here we are on July 14th and no announcements from Bethesda.
They're still getting through
Thanks
the
for
bugs.
dating
so
this
that way,
episode, Ryan.
Yeah, they're still getting to the bugs.
They're still getting through the bugs, so that way, when they show it, it runs.
I just want another backdrop.
I mean, I guess
16 times the detail.
Sure, okay. I suppose. So, yeah, that's my favorite thing about Devolver is like, that's absolutely what happened. Like E3 collapsed, closed, not doing E3 2020. And now we got 17 fucking people.
You get a digital.
You get a digital. You get a digital. You get a whale. And
Bees.
Yeah. And like, as a consumer of this type of content and a fan of this type of content, I enjoy the fact that they understand.
It's a little much.
Do you think so? Like, you clearly did not love it as much as I did. What did you think, Phil?
I liked them calling out all the BS.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite part. And like, I completely got what they were going for. I just didn't know. Like, I had no clue. And I'm like, okay, I get it. They're just being weird. You didn't warn me. Which might have prepared
I didn't think I needed to warn you. We've been such a huge fan on this show of the Devolver Directs and the Devolver Digital press conferences for such a long time.
Last year was too much for me. This year they dialed it back and it was way better.
Okay. There was less story this year, more games.
Yes.
It's like arriving late to a good party. It's still fun, but you're like, I'm missing something.
Something happened.
Something happened. Like, I get the tail end. I understand what it's going for, but
he missed the story part.
Yeah.
He missed the story of the last 3 years that have happened.
And I mean, all the call outs were great. And like, I enjoyed looking at some of the stuff and, some of the games I'm intrigued about, which we'll talk about. Like, overall, it was fun. I almost skipped some of the story stuff, but I'm like, this is fun enough. And like, I am enjoying it. And it didn't too much overstay its welcome. It's just like, I just got through Ubisoft. And I'm like this. And I'm like, I keep watching stuff. And it's late.
So,
Yeah.
My story of watching this press conference, I got the text from Ryan. Hey, Devolver dropped their press conference. I was like, I'll turn it on YouTube on my TV in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Brenda was lying next to me. She was almost asleep. I can turn on whatever I want usually. And Nina Struthers comes on and Brenda rolls over. Get this shit. off the TV. I don't know what it is. You don't need to explain it to me. Put my cartoons back on. I'm going to sleep.
Damn. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yes,
what
ma'am. I think is the correct response to that.
I don't know what
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know what this stupid shit is, but turn it off. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I will do that immediately.
Back to Bob's
Done.
Burgers. It went. That's why I was watching it when I walked in.
Right.
But I mean, going into the call out of it being so oversaturated with the digital, you would keep texting the group and like us and like, hey, these coming out, this one's dropping, this is watching, and I'm like, where the fuck are these coming from?
Yep. Ryan's
Just
basement.
every other week it's a new one, and it just doesn't fucking end.
And I think that having gone from, because I watched Ubisoft first and then I watched Devolver, and having gone from a press conference where they literally didn't say anything new, except for Far Cry 6 at the very tail end, and then going to Devolver and being like, yep, that's exactly what's happening. Thank you.
I did the same thing, but
Yeah.
I knew once I saw that Ubisoft's was 3 hours, I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to see what they announced. Oh, they talked about like 4 things.
Yes.
Yep.
In their 3-hour press
Yeah.
conference.
And we just talked about it for an hour, guys.
Yeah.
It's true.
So
It's true.
That's true.
Who are the true suckers?
we always are.
Right there. Right there.
We wear that medal with not pride.
It's
Yeah,
shame.
with pride.
It's a
Yeah,
shameful.
we wear it with
I get a medal right here.
Shame.
Shame. Shame.
shame.
Ring the
Sorry
bells.
Talk about these games.
So let's get on with Devolver.
It
Yeah,
was good. It was fun.
it was very
It was
fun.
fun.
They talked about a handful of games here. We're not going to go into every single one of them because they actually talked about more games than Ubisoft did.
Yeah.
Despite being a smaller publisher. They talked about Carrion, and that is where they brought in Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
That's coming to Game Pass like next week, like soon.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it'll probably be out by the time this fucking episode's
I
out.
will say-
it'll probably be on Game Pass.
His acting was kind of awful.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's what made it good, though.
It's so cringe.
The Sony president was actually pretty good with acting, so I'm like, oh, maybe he's
Did
more
you
in on
think
the
that?
joke.
Well, I
think-
don't know that I thought that at all.
I thought he was just like, I don't
Personally-
know what these guys are doing, but
Yep.
okay.
Whatever it is, I'm down.
And I guess I thought he was a little bit better. Like I was like normally, because a lot of times when they bring on the Japanese CEOs, they're
Right.
like so out of it.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he was in on it enough and just was kind of like goofy.
Yeah.
And then like it wasn't great, obviously, but Phil Spencer's acting was the worst out of the
I mean, it
whole
was not
thing.
even acting. Like he was just on
It's
the
just-
screen.
it's
Yeah.
just Phil.
He was
Like-
just being Phil Spencer.
Like the part that got me the worst is when the guy made a noise and he's like, oh. And I'm like, oh
Yeah, it's hard to tell, like, what was he seeing in real time
Yeah.
while he was recording that? Like, did he just have a script and he had to pretend? Like,
yeah.
yeah.
He didn't really sound like a person. He just was like, okay, I'm here. And
Yeah.
then just kind of did his thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'm excited Carrion is coming to Game Pass. I probably would not play it otherwise. It does look cool.
I
So
would
in
buy
Carrion,
it if it was on Xbox.
in Carrion,
It
you
is.
play as the villain.
The monster.
You play as the monster.
tentacles.
And it is a 2D side scroller, and you are taking out the people that would normally be, you would be trying to shoot at the monster normally in this type of game.
which I like. Because they built games exactly like this, but from the other perspective. So it's
Yeah.
like
It's cool.
getting to go through and
Cool
like,
idea.
I saw the one part where the tentacle was attached to the dude's head and you got to shoot the other people as the
Yeah.
dude.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
I think it's coming to Switch as well.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I just looked
So
at
that's how I'll play it.
Yep. Yeah. Switch and Xbox, I think it was going to launch on. Yeah. Carrion, again, I mean, they showed it last year too.
Yeah.
This has been in development for
I
a while.
was
so I'm-
excited when I saw it last year.
I guess I'm more excited because I knew about none of this.
right.
I'm like,
Right.
this whole thing was fresh to me. So
I feel like you're new to E3 if you haven't seen Devolver.
Maybe. Maybe. But this one, the next one here, Fall Guys.
Yeah.
This was.
That's been flooding my news feed for a while.
Okay.
And then I got invited to a beta. Didn't get to play that.
Sure.
And Yeah, and now it's not coming to Xbox, so I'm
Buy my PC.
still not gonna get to play it.
So this was a PS4 and Steam exclusive.
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Marshmallows.
So I guess it's Battle Royale. It almost looked like an obstacle course.
It's an obstacle course, like a
Obstacle course
survival
battle
of the
royale.
fittest.
I mean, that's just what we can call that as being like massive amounts of players.
Sure.
It's like
Yeah.
Sure.
baby's first battle royale.
Okay, I'll
It's
take
Fortnite, but marshmallows.
You don't shoot. though.
Fortnite is already
It's an MMO game, not MMORPG, just MMO, massive multiplayer online.
Yeah,
Game.
battle royale.
but not massively. Massively would be thousands of people.
Yeah.
So I guess it's closer in that case to
It's
a
an
battle.
MO.
It's MMO.
Sure.
It is.
Sure. Okay.
Leave it.
But
It's a
Fall
MO.
Guys coming to PS4.
I've been watching this game develop like through Twitter posts from Devolver because I follow Devolver on everything,
Right.
and yeah, I've been wanting to play this game because the hype that they've put out for it has made it look even cooler. I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah. So you look.
It looks-
It said you can if you win the Battle Royale obstacle course, you get snazzy outfits.
Yes.
So there'll be snazzy
And
outfits for you to get.
They run
In?
contests
Dress up your marshmallow.
of making outfits for the Fall
Is
Guys.
that really?
Yes.
Okay.
They've been doing that throughout the betas.
That is
and alphas.
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
Like, how do you want them to dress up? And like they post like 4, and then they're like, vote for the winner, and then they make them in the game.
I'm into that. Okay,
That's
cool.
cool.
It's
I'm liking Devolver more and more that I hear.
yeah.
So it just looked like you were going through a course and everybody more or less starts out at the same spot.
Yeah.
And you run down this ramp like 60 fucking people at a time and you're just bumping into each other all the way down and you're bumping people out of the way. And it didn't look like there was any sort of combat system other than bumping into people
No, it's-
and trying to make it through the
Wipeout.
obstacle course. Yeah, it's Wipeout.
Wipeout.
So
Yeah.
it's like if you got a bunch of kids, put them in those sumo suits, and just like sent them down a water
Yes.
slide.
Yep. I'm in. Can I want the real version of that. I want to watch kids fall down a water slide. That sounds
I don't
awesome.
give a shit about your kids.
Watch kids fall off bikes all day.
That joke makes it into too many episodes.
No, it's so good. From Letterkenny, for those of you not in the know. Yeah, Fall Guys, I'm in. I'm in for Fall Guys, and I'll probably get it on Steam when that comes out. Did they put a release date on that? Did you guys see?
I can
Should've
check
wrote that
real
down.
quick. Give me a
Yeah.
second. Boop, 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 boop,
Soon,
boop, boop,
for
boop,
sure.
boop, 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 boop,
That's
boop,
Colin's checking the internet noise.
We can cut all this out, but he's making noise, so we can't.
August 4th, 2020.
Okay, that's
So
soon.
a couple weeks.
Couple weeks away.
Not a
yeah.
couple. Hold on. Let me see.
All righty.
Uno, dos, tres.
Two weeks away.
3 weeks. Uno, dos,
So,
tres.
yeah, I'm in for Fall Guys. Yeah, let's move on
To Ouija
from
board.
that. Yeah, to Olija.
It looks
I
like
think it's
Alija. Alija.
It's not. It's not C. I looked
Was
it up.
that the
Troy.
thing with
this is the correct spelling?
spear?
yeah.
Yeah. So this is the
Hook thing.
fucking like 8-bit game.
1632. I don't know what it
That's
is.
8.
It
It's definitely
looked
8.
particularly bad in some portions that they were showing.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time I'm in for pixel art games.
Yeah.
But this was almost zero definition. I could barely tell what was
It looked
going
like
on.
The Pitfall guy was wearing a new outfit.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, like going back to Atari days. Like
Yeah.
it was that like pixelated, I guess. And I don't have any reverence for that time frame of game, for that era of game. So like I don't know that this is going to be anything that I'll play.
Yeah. I don't think so either.
What do you think, Colin?
I think it looks like trash.
Yeah.
It's like some of like the platforming in it. It's just like you can't tell what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. It's an art style, but at the same time, it's like you could have done at least a little bit of better
Yeah.
with it. Like, what was that other game that got released a couple weeks ago? I mean, showed a couple weeks ago at one of our E3 that had, it was like that one that was like 2D, 3D, like it was 3D render, but at 2D,
Yeah.
but it was also pixelated, but it looks so smooth.
Yeah.
Like, do more stuff like
made
that.
show
Like,
notes for that. Hold
oh
on.
my God, I can't remember what that game was.
Well,
That looks so
that was
cool.
in the same episode we talked about Crosscode, which was also
Yeah.
very similar
Yeah.
to that. And then
got to
fucking
play
I don't even remember.
Like, I get that it's an art style. Like, you don't have to, like, most 16 quote unquote bit games, because definitely not. There's obviously pixels within pixels and that. But, like, they're made, it still takes a lot to make them. Like,
Yeah.
you can just up it a little bit and just add a little bit more, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that the character could have looked a little bit more defined.
Yeah.
For that style of game, because like you said, I just didn't know what the fuck was even happening. Like, which character is even the one that's playing right now? Which is the bad guy and which is the main character?
Yeah.
And they
Block 1 or block 2?
Yeah, they talked about that being like an RPG, an action RPG. And I was like, I don't see any RPG elements in this at all. And I don't like the
How do
action.
I read the choices? They're so blurry.
Right.
Do I pick block 1, block 2, or block 3? Choices.
So on top of those, Devolver also showed
Foregone.
Foregone. That was yours, Troy, you motherfucker.
Yep.
Damn it. They also showed. They actually didn't show Wild West in the.
Isn't it Weird West?
Fuck.
It's Weird
Yes, Weird West.
I was gonna say,
Thank
it's like
you.
Wild
I wrote
West.
this down 17 times and I wrote it wrong every time.
I don't think you wrote it wrong. I think autocorrect failed.
That could be. That could be.
It's like
weird.
West,
Weird
no,
isn't
this
a
is
word.
Weird West.
Yeah.
They didn't show this at the press conference, but they did something unique, as Devolver does every year, in that at the very end of this press conference on Steam, they released the Devolverland Expo, which I played today. It is a goddamn work of art. So let me explain to you, for those of you that did not play this, it's free on Steam if you want to download it and play it. You start the game outside of the arena that they normally do E3 at, or an arena that's very similar to that.
So it's the Dave Lang Memorial.
It's the Dave Lang Memorial Arena. Yeah, it's basically that. And did you see, just off topic real quick, did you see the quote from Dave Lang during the...
No.
Yeah, they have a quote from Dave Lang during the fucking press conference. But Devolverland Expo, you start outside of the arena, and then you have to activate a switch, and then you get to enter the arena, and their voice over pops up on the speakers, and it's like, Expo, the Devolverland Expo is closed right now to guests or whatever, and you're not allowed to be here. And then, so you walk around the arena, and there's security bots patrolling this thing, so you've got to avoid the security bots and find a t-shirt gun launcher. That's your weapon that you get. And you can stun the security bots by shooting them with your t-shirt gun. And the point is to make it through these levels by avoiding the security bots. And if you get caught, you just start over at the beginning of the level. But you make your way through this arena through increasingly fucked up circumstances. So like at the beginning, you enter through a door and it's fine. And then you make it through the South Arena. And you have to find a key card, which is actually basically a key card, but an invite. And you have to scan your invite to get to the south portion of the arena. And then that's where it really kind of starts, because you go to the Carrion booth and you get achievements for like viewing the Carrion booth. So you walk into the Carrion booth, and in 3D rendered is the Carrion monster, and it attacks the security bots if they enter that part of the arena. And so you basically just walk up and watch a trailer, and then you move on to the Weird West portion, and it's got its own sectioned off like part. And what they've done is like try and recreate tongue-in-cheek the E3 experience for people, since E3 was actually canceled. And it actually looks really nice, and it's all rendered really nice. It's in Unreal Engine. When I was playing it and Colin walked down here, he was like, "What's that?" And I told him it was the Devolverland Expo. He's like, "Wow, that actually looks really good." And I did not make it super far. It's not very long. But the further you go, like the more challenging it is to get into the different arenas. So it is almost like a Portal style thing where, okay, you're traversing these Portal maps and then like, oh fuck, you're actually behind the Portal maps now. And you're going through this and you're like breaking the fiction of the world a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's some challenges where you have to like, okay, this is behind the scenes and now I've got to do this thing.
Cool.
And I'm in. Like, it's
That's
so
my favorite
dumb.
part of Portal.
Yeah,
Like
for
when you're
sure.
like, wait, I was here before, but
yeah,
now I'm on
but I was
this
over
side.
there. Now I'm on this side. Yeah. So check out the Devolverland Expo. It's silly and it's a little bit more tongue-in-cheek humor. And obviously it's free on Steam, and it's mostly just like, here's some hype about the Devolver games, but I thought it was cool. Of the things that we've gotten so far for quote unquote E3 2020, or not E3 2020 as it were, the Devolverland Expo is stupid and cool. The last two that I want to get to here actually kind of looked fairly similar to one another. So we got a gameplay trailer for Shadow Warrior 3.
That looks awesome, by the way.
And a gameplay trailer for Serious Sam 4. And what did you guys think? We can start with Shadow Warrior.
Shadow Warrior, I think that looks awesome. Like the way it's all a bunch of different gunplay, but there's some crazy looking guns.
Yeah.
I didn't play 2, I didn't play 1, but I'm gonna play 3.
Yeah. So my biggest gripe about 1 is that I think they said it in the press conference that it launched in like 2013 as a reboot of the original Shadow Warrior games. And like, sure, I saw what they were going for, and I thought like the essence of this is probably worth it to enjoy it. Like the story's super over the top, the action is over the top, but like playing it did not feel good. So I didn't get super far into the first one. I think it fucking went on sale for like $3 at one point. I think I just bought it on a lark.
Xbox gave it to us.
Was that it? Or that could have been it. Yeah, it could have been a Games with
I
Games for
started
Gold
it
game.
and I was like, I don't know. This isn't what I thought it was.
Yeah. And there are parts about that game that don't work super well. That has respawning enemies, which are annoying. You can't just like clear out an area and then move on. The enemies respawn. You've got to kill them again. And that I didn't love. And a lot of it was really floaty in the way that it controlled that I didn't care for. So like I didn't even play 2.
Didn't like 1.
Yeah, I didn't like 1, and like I didn't think 2 was bringing enough new to the table. But 3 looks fucking bonkers. Holy shit.
The accordion enemy.
Yeah.
Who let you out of the circus is what the trailer says.
This is one-liners, the terrible fucking one-liners during this
I
game.
like with this one, somehow they managed to actually successfully do what Duke Nukem was trying to do. Like, bring it back. Because, like, the original game was like, you play the dude and he's the Asian guy and, like, they kind of play into the stereotypes and, like, dumb jokes and stuff. And, like, in the new ones, they're still doing that, but they're funny. The character's actually entertaining to play. And, like, I had fun with the first one. I felt like clunky, but, like, sometimes I like the clunky games because they're so fun, like Days Gone, Mad Max, where, like, I can sense the care and, like, the clunkiness is okay. So I liked it. And he makes me laugh. Like his just everything
it's funny.
He says.
It's a funny game.
Yeah, 'cause it is. And again, so I'd really see. Like I'm very interested to play this because I like the first. I didn't play the second one just because I never got around to it. I think I played the first one around when the second one was out.
Okay,
Like I was gonna go through them and then just I didn't because so many games. This one looks fun, over the top, and like. Everybody's like, oh, it's like Doom or Duke Nukem. It's like, yeah, they all kind of were. Serious Sam, Shadow Warrior, Duke Nukem, Doom. They're all kind of the same.
Quake.
Yeah, Quake is another
They're
one.
all the same game with just a different protagonist. Really.
And it looked like they had learned some lessons and taken some inspiration from Doom 2016 and brought it into Shadow Warrior.
Which is good.
And like I love Doom, obviously. I love the way that it plays. So if they rein in the way that Shadow Warrior feels to play, and it's like kind of just more over the top crazy shit, and it's funny for Shadow Warrior 3, if it plays like Doom with more dumb crazy shit, like I'm totally in. That sounds
Doom with
amazing.
humor.
Yes.
Good. And a sword.
Doom with humor.
And a sword.
And a sword for sure. Yeah.
Swords. I think that's maybe why I had fun, because I loved the sword.
And the sword is fun to use. It's like in this in the first game, you like literally hack people to bits with your katana. Like you slice them down like from neck to torso, and they just fall in half. And you're like, oh fuck, that's awesome. And they brought in was this the trailer that had the executions? There was executions. It looked like Doom style executions in Shadow Warrior 3, which are amazing. I love doing the glory kills, they're called in Doom. So
Rewatch the trailer.
Bringing that stuff in looks super cool. Story obviously off the wall, and had like some hell elements, I guess, like some direct ass influence from Doom.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Might
sure.
as well not even.
I mean,
fake it.
technically
Just
you
do
were
it.
fighting
Just do it.
demons
Right.
the whole time anyway, so
Okay.
where do demons come from, Ryan?
Hell.
Okay, that's not what I was.
Hiffle.
Hades.
Yeah, Hades. I don't know the story of Shadow Warrior,
I
so
don't
if that's the
either.
case, then
I
good
just-
on them.
I don't remember the story. I just was laughing.
They were talking about demon blood a lot.
Oh, okay. Sure.
In the press conference. So
I do remember some occult symbols in the first game, and being like weird mystical fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Similar to what is in Doom that they've kind of scientifically justified in the newer games. But let's move on to Serious Sam 4. I have zero experience with this. Has
do too.
anybody played Serious
I
Sam?
have not.
Nope.
I've always
A.
It looks
thought
cool.
about-
It looks like Doom. Yeah.
So it like, but it kind of didn't, right? Like,
It looked like Doom, like trying to redo what Doom did when it was old Doom. Like
Thank you. That is a terrible way to say it, but that's exactly how I felt. So
It looks all pixelated and flat, but at the same time, it looks good.
yeah, it looks like you are moving through I mean, obviously Doom was in 3D,
A 3D
but it
space
had
with
that
2D
same
2D thing.
like movement style and the
Sway.
same guns,
Yeah.
and you've got like dual combat shotguns.
Yep.
Just boom, 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 like almost like a Wolfenstein
Yeah.
level of gun madness into Serious Sam, and it looked like original Doom.
Yeah.
But way better. Like if that's the game that they're making, I'm totally
down.
in, because I don't like those games. I don't like the way they play. If you improve that, I'm in.
Yep.
I like old Doom.
I wish I did. I wish I liked Doom,
playing it again.
the original Doom. Are you?
Kidding. I played like the first 5 levels. And I'm like, all right, that's it.
Yeah, that's enough.
And I'm sad that
think
that
we
song
just,
only
like-
plays in the first level. I'm like, that's stupid.
I think we
play every
touched on it last week too. Like, Serious Sam 4 looks cool, and I don't know. I don't know what 1, 2, and 3 look like.
I mean, those have stretched over a long period of
Have they?
time.
Is like,
Yeah.
is
Serious
this a
Sam is-
sequel to the original, like, I don't know, 93 Serious Sam? Is that what this is? I don't know.
I think it's like Serious Sam, I guess, has been around from the 90s through, and I think it's been
Yeah.
very, very sporadic, because 3 was
I always get.
I think
like 2000.
one was almost like a point and click adventure type of deal.
Oh, really?
I believe
That's
how
crazy.
Serious Sam started.
I always
don't
get-
know for sure, but I feel like Serious Sam beginnings was like point and click adventure type of thing.
Right.
Like around the time that Putt Goes to the Zoo was out was Serious Sam 1.
like Oregon Trail shit.
Yeah. Literally shit.
Yeah.
You got dysentery.
Sure. Yeah, I don't have any reverence for this. I barely know what Serious Sam is. I always get it confused with Earthworm Jim.
Really?
Like I realize they're probably not even remotely
Way
related.
different.
But like Earthworm Jim, Serious Sam, kind of kitschy. I don't
Serious
fucking know.
Sam 3 was 2011.
Yeah. That was
Okay.
when next gen came out, and it was like, it's still only a PC thing.
Huh.
Yeah, they pretty much just have had some random spin-offs on random things, but
Weird.
Yeah, it's more been Windows.
Okay.
The first one was in 2001.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
But
It was a first-person shooter.
Really?
It was a first-person
Huh.
shooter.
Well, maybe I'll watch some gameplay of those first few games. I'm probably not. I'm not gonna play them. I'm not even gonna say I'm gonna play them on the pod because I'm definitely not.
They've
Don't
been
say
very
if you're gonna
spread
play
out.
them on the pod. If you don't, go play them on the pod.
2011 for 3 games.
Right.
So it's been really sporadic. So I have no idea about them. I probably will play Shadow Warrior and not Serious Sam.
I thought it looked cool though, like worth mentioning for sure.
Yeah.
I'll have to check the trailer out.
That style was the thing that Doom isn't necessarily trying to do, but I think is the thing that Doom could have done. Like that's a direction that Doom could have went.
Yeah,
and they
went in a different direction for sure. I know another thing that I hope for is clearly Microsoft has got a deal with Devolver. I mean, we've got Devolver games for free.
Yeah.
And now this is coming. Carrion's coming to Game Pass. So you think Shadow Warrior 3 will come to Game Pass?
I think it depends because I think Carrion's a smaller thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Like Carrion is probably a $15, $20, maybe $25 game at maximum.
I'd say, yeah, 15.
So, but Shadow Warrior looked like a $60, like,
next gen, it's 70. We haven't even got to touch on that yet.
$70 release for next gen. But looked like a full, I don't know if I want to say AAA title, but at least a AA title. Like, it looked good.
I don't think the other Shadow Warriors were full price.
I think they were 40. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That's like,
I mean, not full price for sure.
I don't think they were 60.
But this looked bigger than that, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That trailer it did, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Hopefully
sure.
that's their big boy.
Yeah, and they said that Shadow Warrior was one of their most successful franchises
ever
of being a publisher.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. Good on them. You make good games, people buy them. It's weird.
It's weird. Make something fun.
Yeah.
You make something fun. Yeah, the first one came out in 97 of Shadow Warrior.
Fucking A. Wow. Crazy. We ready to move on, boys?
I think so.
News time.
All right. Are you ready for the news time?
Freaking news time.
Kind of already did the news, though. Like, that was all news, and then we're gonna
Breaking news. We have more news.
Breaking news. So this is a article here about a developer who has been using Kinect to mod motion controls into Super Mario 64.
Mario VR almost.
Did you guys see this?
No.
This is badass.
So is he using a Wii controller? And
No, it's the Kinect. You don't do it.
I know, but it looks like he's holding a controller.
He is. I think he is using either a Joy-Con or something, or an Oculus controller, some one-handed controller to maneuver the camera.
Yeah.
And then he's modded in parts where he jumps. He's playing it on a trampoline, and he is using the Kinect to do this. So he's jumping around. I'm in.
It's actually great.
Like,
But it's just jumping. That's kind of cool though, because like that's like the majority of the game.
right.
So like,
Well, you're crawling around. You've got to lean down to crawl.
Oh, he punches?
You can punch.
Yeah, he's got some bugs to work out for
Yeah, he's
sure.
got
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't work 100% of the time,
That's
but
cool.
works more than you would think it probably would based on
looks
what
fun.
I just said. Like, using Kinect to play Mario 64 is a super dumb
you
thing.
lose weight.
And you would lose weight because you're jumping on a trampoline, and that's a super fun way to lose weight.
I've always wanted to try those VR games that have the treadmill.
Yes.
Yes.
You get to
Yes.
run. I'm like, oh,
There is a...
that would be the way to play Skyrim.
New local one.
There's a VR local place where it's actually not. It's not a treadmill, but it's actually a room that they made in VR.
Yeah.
And you actually run around in VR.
We got to,
Which is super cool.
do.
We should go there. Research
we
for
could
the
go
podcast.
I'm
there
not
for
sure
the
if
first day.
they have it open because of COVID.
It's open.
It is.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, dude,
We gotta go.
should call them and go there Saturday.
They're wiping
in.
everything down, and
So,
I got to call them.
if people mod more stupid shit like this into VR, like, can you imagine, like, if you can play Mario 64 in first person, that's already in the game. So,
VR.
like,
VR it.
yeah, can I VR play Mario 64?
And you punch your ceiling? Yeah. I've already done that with my Rift, and I wasn't playing this game. I think I was actually playing raw data, and I was throwing my sword at one of the flying drones. Yep.
But I want like this game. I want the $400 haptic feedback vest.
Yeah.
I want to be on a trampoline / treadmill. Like I want it all. I want the Oasis. We talked about Ready Player One.
I want it all.
Yes. Thank you. Queen, right?
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. I'm in for this. This is so dumb.
That vest and the treadmill, just like running through playing Skyrim. You get shot and you're like, oh,
You actually die in real life.
knee.
Ready Player One. Once again mentioned.
I thought that's what Serious Sam's trailer was going for. I was an adventurer once, and then I was like, "You took an arrow to the knee."
Right. I know how this line ends. You don't even need to finish it. So we got 2 bits of news here from Gaming Bolt about Sony. So the first one I want to get into, Sony has patented a mini demo for use presumably on the PS5. So what they're talking about in this article is a potential feature in the PS5 and maybe further down the line. Maybe it doesn't come to it at all. Like patents sometimes don't get made into real things all of the time. But basically what it is like you can section out a portion of that game as a playable demo for like your buddy. Let's say like, hey man, I really like this section of Doom Eternal where you do this cool thing. Here, let me send it to you, and you download it as a playable demo portion of Doom Eternal.
that's actually cool.
That's super fucking cool.
It's like it's to take away the game share.
Yeah, like I don't even bother sending a video. Like, let me send you this playable cut of this game.
That's crazy.
And like
find a good part and be like, man, this game's so cool, you should get him. It's like, I don't know. It's like, here.
yeah,
try it
let me
out.
show you how fucking badass this is.
Yeah.
You play it for yourself.
I like that. Because I know they were already talking about how like they'll design it to where when you go in the store, you hit play demo and you just play.
Yeah.
Right.
So like,
This seems like, one step further than that. Like, not even a sectioned out portion that a developer has cherry picked for you in a way. Like, fans of the game can create demos.
Their own demo.
Yeah. Like,
That's really cool.
Super fucking cool. And they don't really have any word here as to like how long of a demo you can
logistics
create,
of it.
like how that would even work. Do you have to get the developers to sign off on that thing? Like, are there licensing bullshit that has to happen in the background? Like similar to showing a game with music on Twitch? Do you have to, will there be
Cut out
some
the
sort of
music?
monetization bullshit that has
I
to
wonder
like,
if you have to download the whole game in order to play that part of the demo.
I think the point is that you don't.
yeah, I think that's
I would
part
hope
of it
so.
too. Right. Like you don't want to do an 80 gig download for a 14-second clip, like, or a 3-minute clip, whatever it ends up being.
Then there'd be no point.
Yeah, there would almost
But like,
be no
let's say, hey,
point.
play this for 5 minutes, and it's just
Yeah. Delete 6 games to download
Delete
this
6
portion
games.
of Call of Duty.
yeah.
Just a multiplayer. Play on this map.
Right.
Play on this building.
So yeah, this seems like a step further than what Sony did on the PS4 with the quick share button built into the controller, and obviously Xbox has it on the software side. Yeah, I'm in. Like that sounds super, super cool.
That is cool. I like that.
Next bit of Sony news here. This is maybe not 100% news, but I did want to talk about it. So a few weeks ago, we actually showed it in a portion of our coverage where Epic Games did a demo running on the PS5.
Yeah.
And then news broke probably a couple days ago that Sony had invested $250 million into Epic Games.
There's a lot of money.
That's
And
a lot of Viva.
Somebody tweeted, somebody from Epic Games, I think it might have even been Tim Sweeney, who tweeted like, people were tweeting at him and being like, well, fucking duh.
Yeah.
This is why you're hyping the PS5, because you got all this money from Sony. And he was like, maybe they just liked what they saw. And like, I'm kind of two minds about this, because it depends on the time frame in which this happened, right?
Yeah.
Like, if Sony was not considering investing in Epic at all, saw the demo and was like, "Fuck yeah," I'm okay with it. Like, it's totally fine. But my problem with it is like, how does the multi-billion-dollar Epic Games
really need
make
more money?
Right. Not even just make more money. Like, how do they make that type of a gameplay demo and release it without anybody at Sony knowing that?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
Well, I'd
I
say
don't
like they'd
know.
obviously know about it, but they might be like, well, let's see it, and then we'll talk.
Sure, maybe.
But,
like, maybe there
if
were
you're
already initial talks.
If you're Sony, you don't let them release anything until you see it first.
That's a good point.
Like,
yeah.
That is true.
If it's gonna have a Sony logo in it, no, I get to see it first. No,
Right.
You
right.
don't get to just.
You're
do
not going to
what you
upload
want.
that without me knowing
Yeah.
it.
Now, they also could have looked at that and said, that is really cool. That's good enough to show people, and then we'll see. Because, like, sometimes they'll be like, yeah, that's pretty, show it. And then they wait for people's reactions.
And that's what
it
Sony
itself
came
kinda
out and
blew
said that
up,
they did.
so, yeah.
Like, Sony came out and was like, yeah, we were waiting on what people thought about it, and we also thought it was cool, so we invested the money into Epic Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a bummer as an Xbox fan, because Epic and Xbox and Microsoft used to have a pretty close relationship, and now it's going the other direction. So I hope we
Kinda like
don't.
Call of Duty did the same thing.
Yeah, it's back and forth with Call of Duty, but what I'm hoping that I don't have to deal with in the next generation is like Epic Games being exclusive to Sony because of this.
Yeah.
Like,
they'll probably have
that'll bum
something.
me out. It'll
I don't
bum
think
me
they'll
out.
have everything, but probably something. Maybe like a specific game. I don't know.
Do you think this buys Sony like exclusive DLC timing, exclusive launch window timing, like that kind of thing?
I would much rather hope it's
They're
just
gonna get
game.
they're gonna get a Sony Fortnite skin. Like it's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
the
Yeah.
PS5 skin.
Yeah,
Like
you'll
have you
get
seen
6
the- have you
Wi-Fi
seen
router
the-
skins.
Have you seen the like the personified versions of like people cosplaying the PS5?
No.
Like it's
No,
pretty
I've
cool.
not seen that.
People are
That sounds
cosplaying the
amazing.
PS5, and it's epic.
I have a Xbox Series X sitting right over there. Already got one.
What?
Black refrigerator.
Oh, I was like, what?
What?
Just
What? You
about
got
to
a
say
launch?
fridge.
A pre-launch one?
You didn't tell
I didn't.
me this.
I didn't get a pre-launch.
Oh, it's
one.
right here, right?
You would be losing your
is post-launch.
mind
You
if
guys missed
somehow
it.
managed.
Yeah, we would have to cancel the pod. I'd be playing games and getting banned from Xbox
You'd be
Live.
playing nothing.
No, it plays everything. I don't have to. I can play everything right now. It won't be as
You have to-
amazing.
No, you have to wait for the day one patch.
It's like that
Nothing
Mass
works.
Effect shit.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
nothing works, and it's like you have to wait for the day one patch. When does that launch?
Nah,
TBD 2020.
So going off of the launch stuff, people are speculating because Ubisoft announced a date for Valhalla. They announced November 17th for Valhalla. And
That would be a good time for the Xbox to come out.
that is supposedly a launch game for next gen, especially on Xbox.
Yeah.
So people thought like, uh-oh,
could be-
did they accidentally kind of out the launch date for the next Xbox? Or, this is the launch game for both.
Yeah.
Like, are we getting new consoles on November 17th? We don't know yet.
Probably.
I hope it's earlier, just because I want one now.
So in about a week, Microsoft is going to do their July thing.
On a Thursday
On a
night.
Thursday night.
Or, no, is it Thursday
It'll be next week's
noon?
episode, but the week after.
Yeah.
Thursday
So
noon-ish?
Xbox fanboys, Troy,
Yes.
Colin, myself, outsider, Philip.
I mean, I can at least be happy if they drop some news, then Sony will.
That's true.
Yeah.
So if they say
That's-
this is our release date,
So that's my
price,
question.
Sony
Do we
will
get a release
immediately-
date?
And do we get a
price? Those are the two biggest questions left.
And then PS4's like, we're releasing the day earlier.
No, it's
Launching on November 16th, motherfucker.
pre-order
Thursday
now
night.
for this price and this date. I want
Yeah?
all three
Yeah.
that day.
You think?
That'd be nice.
I don't know. I think they're really trying to tread the line and
mean,
see who
like,
breaks first.
Right.
July.
Right, who blinks?
Yeah.
July
yeah,
is
who
okay.
blinks?
You can only go so far, though.
July
We're
is an okay
approaching-
time for
Yeah, I mean,
pre-orders.
like, I don't 100% remember what they talked about for last gen stuff.
I didn't pre-order.
like-
I just went and bought it.
But like,
Launched.
I feel like we knew by now.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure we knew by
We knew
now
by E3,
what
at
the
least.
launch window was and what the price was, and
I know we got launch window at E3.
I do feel that
it got priced then too.
I feel like we got price. It was like Xbox One is
Yeah.
gonna be $4.99. I feel like we got price.
And then PlayStation was like, we're cheaper.
$3.99. Gotcha, bitch.
I will say my favorite thing though about that was their little jab at sharing games. That was funny. Like at the E3 when Xbox announced it, and they're like, "You can't share anything. It's all digital. You can't do anything." And then Sony's like, "Here's how you share games." And then he just handed it over to him, and he's like, "Thank you." That made me laugh.
But that was a good thing that happened because
that was
of
before
that,
Phil Spencer,
yeah,
right?
that was Don Matrick. Because
He's
of
got
that,
a brain.
Yeah, he does. But it was because of that we got the ability to do game sharing at all. Like they pulled back on that stuff so hard because there was backlash. So that's absolutely a good thing. It was a good jab for sure for Sony to make.
I do feel that Xbox will probably have to say first because Sony did their announcement. And if they were going to break before, like if they were going to blink first, they would have done it then.
Well, that's what I was just about to ask you. Is there anything on the horizon for Sony fans? Have you heard of, I mean, I know you're on Twitter a lot, like plugged into that.
The problem with that is anytime that happens, everybody's like, it's this day, it's this day. Oh, it doesn't happen. Oh, it's this day, it's this day.
And it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it was
I
like
gotcha.
months leading up until that
secret
actual
code with those X's and those triangles. and
yeah.
I mean, up
squares.
until that event actually happened, it was like every week. They're like, it's going to be Friday. Oh, they said this, it's going to be Tuesday. And it's like,
No, it's not.
whatever.
Xbox just says it's this day.
Yeah.
And then it is.
Sony just
it
doesn't
is.
say anything, and their fans are like, when? It must be this day. But I'm sure they're going to say something either the day of, when it's happening, right afterwards, or like the day after.
Yeah.
So once Xbox happens, I'll be able to, on the
see.
horizon for Sony.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with next gen, but I think we gotta
That
end
was
the pod, boys.
That's this Thursday or next Thursday?
Not next Thursday. So the 23rd or whatever it ends up being for
Also, by the time people hear this, I will be 28.
Hey!
Happy
birthday! I don't have any birthday music queued up. So
It's your birthday.
It's
We're gonna party.
birthday. We're not gonna party.
you are
Because of COVID.
number ever.
We're scooting.
Yeah, 28, biggest number ever. I get to die.
Jesus Christ. And with that, we're going to end the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Crazy Train of Thought episode, whatever the fuck we're on. Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Colin.
What the fuck?
Check out our video podcast on YouTube. Each week, Philip is busy editing the Last of Us talk that we had.
Yeah.
I am busy editing another episode. We're like 3 episodes behind. I'm so sorry.
We will eventually catch up.
We will eventually
We
catch
love
up.
you guys.
We love you guys. Keep listening. Keep watching. Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
That's all, folks.
All right, Colin, you want to go ahead and start us off here?
Yes.
With your intro.
This. Damn it, we're gonna go through this fucking another fucking 10 minutes. Shut the fuck up.
This week.
This week. This week on an all new episode of Crazy Train of Thought.
Selling chocolate.